What's up guys, Zack here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'm going to be doing a video on my top 10 tips for how to improve your drawings and your illustrations for cards in your TCG, or for life in general. Also, on the 3rd of January, it will be the Chaos Galaxy TCG's first birthday, so I've had the channel for a year now, which is really cool. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make a video on that day because I'm going to Thailand for 2 weeks on holiday over Christmas. So I won't be making videos for 2 weeks. I know a lot of you guys really enjoyed my London blog, so if you guys would like to see a video from my adventures in Thailand, then if you can comment down below, and if I get enough comments then I'll make a video on that, which I think should be really cool. Also, I've got a few more quick updates that I'll go through in the end because I know quite a few people won't want to see it. But if you're a follower of my channel, then definitely stay till the end. Okay, so tip number 1 for improving the drawings for your TCG. And that's even before you get to the drawings. The first tip is have the right materials. I've mentioned this in my videos quite a few times before, but the best things that I find for illustrating cards are marker pens, and I have these Copic markers which I live by and they're absolutely amazing. However, they are quite expensive, but I would suggest that using felt pens or permanent markers to do your illustrations is really good. A lot better than pencil crayons or even paint, because paint is very difficult to get right. I'm not very good at painting, but if you are good, then go for it with painting. But pencil crayons, they're not very precise. The colours aren't that vivid, so they won't show up on the cards because they're so small anyway. So yeah, permanent markers or felt pens are amazing. Also, even stuff, just really simple stuff like using a sharp pencil really helps. Having good paper, I've seen people do TCG videos and they're making their cards on lined paper. It's like, why would you draw on lined paper? It's like you wouldn't write an essay on just plain blank printer paper, so why would you draw on lined paper? It just doesn't look good at all. So yeah, have the right materials is the first tip, and that's a simple thing, it doesn't even take any skill. So yeah, that's probably the easiest one on this list. Tip number 2 is draw from things in real life. Although it's great to have an amazing imagination and be able to come up with ideas from your head, however, you're going to be able to do the best drawing you possibly can if you're drawing it from real life. For example, the card here, called the Sacred Reef, hopefully you can see that, is one of my favourite cards from set 2 so far. And if you think I came up with this drawing from my head, you're completely wrong. And if I did, then I would be a complete genius. But no, I went on the internet, I looked up about 10 different pictures of coral reefs, underwater rock formations, seaweed, and things like that, so I could get this image looking as realistic as possible. No one could come up with things like that from their head, so base things off real life, and make your drawings as realistic as possible. Even if you're drawing something like a dragon that's not even a real thing, go and watch The Hobbit and it'll definitely give you inspiration and help you. Tip number 3 is, for the artwork that you're making, do sketches first. Don't dive straight in and try and draw the thing you're going to use on the card first time. Just do quick sketches of the thing that you're going to draw. So it's like if you were to go into an exam having not revised at all, you wouldn't do very well. Whereas if you've done practice questions, read through notes and things beforehand, you'll do a lot better. It's the same with drawing. If you practice what you're going to draw a few times and then get into the actual thing, then the final outcome is going to be a lot better. Okay, tip number 4, attention to detail. Because the artworks for your cards are going to be so small, literally like, that size, everything needs to be perfect, because otherwise people are going to notice it. Yeah, if you're doing a huge painting on a massive canvas, you can afford to miss a few things out, make a very small amount of mistakes because people aren't going to notice. But when you're drawing, attention to detail is so important, and you have to make everything as perfect as possible, otherwise the card isn't going to look great. So for example, here on the card planet for Roka, as you can see, when I've filled in the background on a computer program, it's coloured in part of the planet with the same blue colour. And that's really easy to notice now that I've pointed it out, because the card's so small, so I'm working on fixing that at the moment. Tip number 5, always be inspired. So just looking around, even if you're just walking to the shops or something, or looking in a supermarket, sometimes you'll spot, I don't know, a shape in some branches of a tree, and you'll be like, oh, that looks like a really cool outline of a creature with like some wavy hands or a long neck or something. Just always be looking out for things, especially if you're somewhere new or somewhere that you don't go very often. Like, go to museums. And I remember a few weeks ago I went to a museum that had a whole exhibition on some ancient Aztec building structure thing, and now I'm making a load of cards based off that, which hopefully are going to look really cool. And all like things in films or things you read in books, everything can inspire you. And I know that sounds a bit cringy, but it's true. Tip number 6, make your images as clear as possible. If you do this really fine detailed drawing, but take a bad picture of it to put on your card, you've ruined it. You've ruined all the work you've done for that image. Even if you're just drawing it straight onto the card, make sure your colours are bright, your pencil lines are perfect. Don't do any of that like feathery, sketchy stuff. Make sure if you've rubbed anything out that it's completely vanished, and make sure everything's perfect. This is again going back to the make sure there are no mistakes, but just make the image as clear, as crystal clear and as bright as you can first time around, and it'll make things look so much better in your game. Tip number 7 now, I believe, and that is make sure you have a good sense of colour. You don't know how many trading card games I've seen and the colours for cards are just ridiculous. Like they'll make a lion card and have it green with pink eyes, and it just, first of all, pink and green don't go together, and second of all, that's just ridiculous. Colour can say a lot about a card. Like if you're making a card that's supposed to live in water and you colour it red, it's not going to look like it's supposed to live in water. I'll just show you. For example, Frostboz here. Now he's white, grey and blue, and if he wasn't, and so it's easy to tell that he's made of ice. However, if he was red, he'd look like he was made of fire, or like sparks or an explosion or something, because of the way his head's shaped. And again, with Groundnite, for example, because he's brown, you can tell he's made of rock and the texture of his skin or whatever. If his skin was pink, and that would sort of make him look like he was made of flesh and would look really weird. Number 8, and I did go into this a little bit in my last video, which was a speed art video of me drawing the Weatherman archetype, and this is consistency within archetype, and it also links into the last point too, because if you're making a set of cards that's supposed to be similar, which is one of the funnest things about drawing cards for a TCG, I think, making groups of guys that work together and you can pull off combos with, and it's really cool. Make sure they look like they're supposed to work together. So if 2 cards are part of a set, then show it. So for example, going back to the Night cards again, as you can see with Groundnite and Aquanite, they have the same sort of body shape, they have the same type of helmet, they both have that sort of special weapon in their hand, and if you can see on their wrists, they both have a similar sort of bracelet with a little symbol as to which sort of planet they come from. I could show you with the Weatherman archetype as well, but you can check that out in my last video. And it's just showing that cards work together, and again, symbolising things in your images can just make your game look a lot smoother and more interesting to the viewer. Okay, and then with this last tip, I think I've lost count. I think I've done 9 tips so far, so this should be the last one, but if I'm wrong, then please don't unsubscribe. But the final tip, and this is the most important one, and I've mentioned it before, and that is practice. I get a lot of comments on my videos saying, "Oh Zach, how are you drawing so good? You're like a master, you've been blessed." First of all, thank you for that. I personally don't think I'm an amazing drawer, but thanks, that means a lot. But mainly, I'm not blessed at all. I just draw all the time, and I don't get why people think that drawing is different to anything else. Like people who are good at maths, they're not just born good at maths, they revise loads, they work hard, they do maths questions all the time. People who are good at sports, they don't just suddenly decide to play soccer and then the next Lionel Messi. No, they work hard at it, and they practice every day, and then their skills get better and better, and they work their way up to the top. And it's the same with drawing, and I can't stress that enough. The most important thing to improve your drawing is practice, and that's the key to having successful drawings for your trading card game. Just keep practicing. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully you gained some tips from it, and now go and get drawing and improving your TCGs. Also, I said I had a few quick updates for you. I said a couple of videos ago that I'll be making starter decks for the Chaos Galaxy TCG game, and I'll hopefully be selling these soon. Also, I did tell you to vote for which planets you would like to have these starter decks based off, and the winning decks were Pelisium and Shios. And now I'm doing really well. I've almost finished the Pelisium one, so there'll be a video on that coming soon, and I've got some really good ideas for the Shios one, which I haven't started yet. But yeah, there are going to be new archetypes for both of these planets, and yeah, the Pelisium one's looking really cool so far. In fact, I actually think I have my new favourite card in the entire game, so yeah, they're going really well. Also, like I said, comment down below if you want to see a vlog of my trip to Thailand. I think it'll be really interesting. Hopefully I can get a lot of inspiration from the trip there. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Happy birthday to the Chaos Galaxy channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.